Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today I just wanted to show you the indicator Fib 369. So I'm just going to show you today's opportunities that was on the market that you could have taken if you had the indicator, and I'm going to show you also how you could have made money by using it without the indicator with the logic of the Fibonacci. So let's just go through today. I just took this opportunity right here. A quick buy trade. We made 1% on FTMO, and then we made a few $100 I think on Apex. So let's start with the London session. We had sales here, that was nice. Then we had buys here on the zone here, tells us to buy, and then here we had sales. So for example, when we have sell here, if you observe carefully, we also have the TP line, so it suggests you the best TP area. So here, for example, the gray TP line, so it tells us to sell in this area, and then we have the TP here. When we exit, we also have the buys telling us to buy in this area, and then the TP is here. Then we tells us to sell here, then we have a first TP here, and then market drops into this zone. We have multiple zone here because we have multiple pivot points. Market tells us to buy, and then we get out somewhere here if we want to, but we can see the market rallies up, and then we get a first zone that doesn't hold, then a second zone that holds, and then the market changes direction. Then we have here, we can take TP, we can also take TP here. Then here the market tells us to buy, the market goes up a few pips, then it drops, then again tells us to buy, and then here it tells us to sell, TP here, and then here it tells us to buy, but the market fails because we can see the first attempt here, it goes deeper, and then here it tells us to buy, and then it goes up. So now let me remove the indicator and show you the logic behind these entries and how you can use it with your Fibonacci. So first, let me show you the Fibonacci that I'm using for this. So we have to remove everything between the 0 and the 100, and we have to add the following settings. So 0, 1, 1.382, 1.79, and 1.68. Okay, and you're gonna use those levels as your entry zone basically. So if you're looking to buy, so for example, why do we have a buy in this area with the indicator? So if I place the indicator here, why does it say to buy here? So let's start with this one. Why does it say to sell here? It's because on the left here, we have a pivot level that got broken by this area, right? So the pivot level is broken, right here. We have a break. So if you take your Fib level, okay, so you have to start to draw your 100 level from this high to this low, because that's the last low before they break this high, and then you can see the market has to shift around this area. Now you see it's not very precise. Why? Because we have multiple pivot points. So we have this pivot point, we have this pivot point, right? So in this scenario, we can adjust this level here, and then the 0 level a little bit lower again. And then we can adjust this here, so we can see market gives us this opportunity. Okay, now if we remove this, why does it tell us to buy here? And that's very simple. We have to look at the micro setups, because that's a micro setup. We have a micro pivot here, the market goes up and then it breaks this low, right? That's a micro setup. Okay, so that means here you'd have to take your Fib level, 100 level to the low here, and then high is here. And then you can see the market respects this area and then provides a buy opportunity right here. Then the market says to sell in this area. Okay, so we have two pivot. We have one pivot here, we have one pivot here. Most likely it's gonna be this one, I think. So if we take this level right here, we drag this here to the low, which is here, and then this is where the market tells us to sell, right here. Okay, and then we have this buy opportunity here. We have one pivot level here, and we have multiple pivots here. So that means we can take the last one, and then we're gonna drag from the bottom to the top right here, and then we're gonna place it right here. Okay, and then we can see the market taps the 38 point. So you have to be quick, you know, entering, and then so that you can exit, right? You can see it taps inside bar, and then it provides the opportunity to go long. Okay, and then here the market tells us to sell in this area. Why? Because we have another pivot point right here. So let's remove this. We have pivots that is broken here, we have pivot that is broken here. So it's most likely going to be this one, because this is a quick turn here. So it's most likely going to be this pivot point, or maybe this one with a deeper right here. So it's actually this pivot point right here, London high in the kill zone. The low is right here, and we can see in this area it tells us to sell, and then that is where the market starts to change direction. And then when you want to trade in the direction of the trend, sometimes you're going to have these nice opportunities right here. It's better on the 1 minute time frame, but let me show you quickly. So for example, here you have a short-term buy. When the market breaks this low to this high, market goes slightly below, right? And then it comes back. But then you also have this pivot point right here, and then you have the high right here. So the market goes lower, and then it comes back up here. The reason it stops to the 100 is because the trend was down at the moment. And when it's like that, then you have to use, if you want to go with the trend, then you have to use a smaller time frame, such as the 1 minute time frame, because at the moment we are on the 5 minute time frame. And then your pivot point is going to be a high that you can find somewhere here. So let's do this. I think it's going to be this high or this high right here. So this low, that's the last low before they broke this high, and then you can see the market changes direction here on the 38. But again, like I said, you have these highs as well, right? Why is it? Because every candle, high and low, the market went up and it changes direction, it closed. So that's micro, okay? And then here we had another opportunity to buy for short term, where the market broke this pivot point right here. So from this low to this high, we track the fib, and then you can see it went a little bit lower, because it's not the only point we have here. We also have this level right here. So in this scenario, we gotta adjust. When it extends a little bit lower, we gotta adjust, and we can see the market respects the 38 perfectly, and then provide a nice opportunity to go here. Then the market breaks. It breaks this high right here. So that's gonna be from this high to this low. That's the first level that we get. It respects, and then obviously we can also adjust to these lows right here, and we have more levels of pivot points around right here, right here, right here. So if we take this average right here, the market changes direction, right? And the last one for the day, the quick scalp I took here, was based on this understanding. So we have pivot here that was broken, pivot here. So when this market drops, it broke this level, and this level, right? So obviously I'm gonna go with this level right here, and then right here it tells me to buy. So that's why I took my buy trade. But also this pivot point was the actual one, was London low when they broke it. So from here to here, enough pips. That's how many pips. So from here to here, that's so you can enter your buy trade. You see, that's 22 pips already. That's very quick. It's enough. If you enter precisely here, it's enough. I took 1% on this, right? So for example here, it's changing direction, okay? Because like I said, the trend is bearish, right? So very easy. You see, when the market break above this high, the first break is here. So if you observe, you can place your 100 level here, 0 level at the bottom. You can see the market comes exactly to the 38, and then it rejects. So let's put this here precisely. You see, it taps and it drops. So it's because of that principle in the market, where if it overextend, it has to come back. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you. Like I said, the link in the description box is to get access to the indicator, and then we can trade live together, or you can trade on your own. But I'll try to post at least one video a week, showing you different opportunities that you can get to make your life easier in trading. I think 2026 is going to be amazing. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Take care and trade safe. God bless.